How about now? Is there audio now? Let me know if that's working. Sorry, guys. Oh, no, I'm getting feedback in my AirPods. That's not it either.
People are saying, yes, you have audio.
Okay.
Go, great.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got it. Oh, am I working? I'm telling you, we just got our new phone. And so we were trying to get all of that set up. Is audio going now? I hope it is.
Everyone's saying perfect.
We're going. All right. Sorry about that, my friends. I'm telling you, it's always something when it comes to technology. Am I right? Welcome. Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. It's going to be worth dealing with all of that because the card I have today is quite amazing. We have got a double gate explosion card. I'm very excited about it. I have a special guest today, so I'm going to have her come over and join me. Brenda is out of town. And so joining me today is Jenny. Oh. Jenny's home from college. Yay.
Yay. College.
Straight A's.
Straight A's.
That's her thing.
Yeah.
It's
forever and always. 19 hours, straight A's and all.
Yeah, I was not a straight A student. Yeah, our girls have been quite brilliant when it comes to, oh, look, we're going to get a Tugger update. You guys were asking for a Tugger update. Tugger says hi. He's attending puppy school, so he's learning to be a little bit better. A little bit. So I asked some of you before we got on, and don't worry, we're getting to stamping, I promise. And if you're watching the replay, just scroll forward. We'll stamp here in just a second. But Jenny was asking for your recommendations of songs from the 1940s. She's going to be playing one of the Andrews sisters. And like, what kind of songs do you sing?
We sing Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy and Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree with anyone else but me. Yep. We also have some 1950s, so like Mr. Sandman, Bring Me a Dream.
I love that song.
Lots of other good stuff, some Elvis, some Judy Garland, all that good stuff. Yeah. So,
okay, well, we need some recommendations for 40s songs.
For the 4th of July.
4th of July. So send those in to me. Okay, are you ready to get started? Yes. Jenny's going to head over to my computer. Bye. Tugger says bye. She's going to head over to the computer, so she'll be moderating. So if you have questions, she's going to be sending you the measurements and things like that. I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and head over to my stamping table because I want you guys to see we have a free download for you today. So you're going to have all your measurements. I love to share these with you guys. I love for you to be able to create the cards easily. So we've got the measurements for both the cards. When you save this to your computer, you can click on this graphic and you'll be able to watch the video again. You can click here and you can see the full supply list, and guess what? You can order from there too. And I would love to be your demonstrator, so I hope you guys will give that a click. But the best part about the document today is, yay, a diagram. You know what? I think I love creating diagrams almost as much as I love stamping. But I know how much they help you guys, and they work so much better to have diagrams. The visual makes a world of difference. And let me tell you, if there's ever a time you're going to need a visual, it is on this card, because I have messed it up numerous times until I had a diagram. Once I had a diagram, no more problems. So you can find this diagram over at simplysimplestamping.com. Jenny will also share the link where you can download that too, so you can print that off. That's going to help you a lot. But let me show you what a gatefold explosion card is. I'm very excited about these. These are just fun folds, and things like this have been really kind of just my new favorite here lately. Have you noticed? So it's a gatefold. You see it split there in the middle. And when I call it an explosion card, it's because when it opens up, you get this great explosion of designer series paper. It's actually very easy to make, but isn't that just a huge wow? It really is. And I've got another card I'm going to be sharing with you as well, but this is the card we're going to create. And then I'll share some other tips and tricks on the other card, because I've got a different way you can do some things on the inside. So make sure you stick around till the end. Are you ready to create? I hope you are. I've been reading your comments. Oh, you guys love Tugger, isn't he? He's really turned into a good dog. What is he? He's about 7 months now. He was born in October, so somebody else do that math. Jenny, you're a straight A student. Give us the math. All right, so I'm going to start with a piece of Mango Melody cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5. And I have 2 score lines on here, guys. I scored it at 2 1/8 inch. And then I flipped it around and I scored it at 2 1/8 again. Okay. So we want to have those 2 score lines because that's what's going to give us our gatefold. Okay. Let me set that off to the side because I want to go ahead and give you all of your measurements. We have got some gorgeous designer series paper. Love this. This is from Happiness or Hues of Happiness designer series paper. So what I have is I have a piece that is 4 by 8 and a piece that is 2.5 by 4. So what's great is if you cut your designer series paper at 4 inches, you could make 3 of these explosion cards. We love that because if that was 4 by 12, you'd have enough and you'd be able to do that. So 4 by 8. Okay, there's that. Let's bring in some Melon Mambo because it works so well with this paper. I have one piece that is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, and another one 2 3/4 squares, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. The last thing is we need some basic white. So let me go over these real quick. This first one is 4 by 5 1/4. I have a 2.5 by 2.5. And this is for the sentiment on the front. So if you need to adjust that, you can, but mine is 1/2 inch by 4 1/4. Okay, that's what we need. Oh, I'm going to say one more thing. We're going to get to working on our designer series paper and that diagram. If you would be more comfortable, feel free to go get a piece of copy paper, just some regular copy paper, and cut it 4 by 8 and practice once. I'm a big fan of practicing on copy paper before I go and start using my good, fancy, pretty paper. Anyone else? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to actually bring in my paper trimmer for this, and I'm going to scoot that down so I can keep that diagram in. So remember on your paper trimmer, there's a blade and a scoring blade. Get that cutting blade out of your way. We don't want that. You guys know it happens. So I want you to make sure you're using the scoring blade. Guys, the scoring on your graphic here, the first one you're going to do are the red lines, 2, 4, and 6. All right, that's easy enough, right? Let's see what you guys are up to. Judy says she loves the idea of practicing first, right? I know. I have to practice all of my fancy folds with copy paper first. All right, so there's my 2, 4, 6. Now we're going to do the green lines. This is where it's going to get just not tricky, but I want you to be able to see. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make sure I can slide this in here. So we need to score from this corner to this little fold right here. Okay. And you know what? You know what I can do, because it's not going to show, because I'm going to make a couple little tick marks so I can see that on that paper. Not real easy to see, but the biggest part I want you to know is you need to be going from the outside corner. Basically, this needs to be an open space. And that was the visual that I needed to make sure I didn't mess up. I want to make sure this is open. So I didn't want to score it incorrectly. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that tick mark right here. And then I'm going to line up the point of my cardstock right there, or designer series paper. And we're going to give that a score. Now let's rotate that. We're going to do it again. Find my mark. There it is. So there and there. And I always love it when you guys create along with me. Stamping and paper crafting is always more fun with people. Okay, so before I do the other side, I want to share with you another way that you can do this, okay? Because some of you might not particularly care to do it on your paper cutter. So here is another way that you can do it. I'm going to bring in a ruler and my bone folder, and I can see there's my tick mark. And if you line up your ruler with those 2 spots, just like I did in the paper trimmer, and then you can come in with your bone folder and you can give it a score. And then we can do that here as well. So I wanted you to see there's different ways you can do this. You know what? Let me show you a third now that I think about it. You know what else you can do? You could just fold that over. I'm a big fan of scoring first, but I want you to see you could just fold these just like that. You want to kind of make sure everything is lining up. So looks like I just needed to adjust that one a little bit. So you can see all I'm doing is giving these a fold. Use your bone folder very light. You know, we don't want the designer series paper to get too scored down. Okay, now we're also going to fold these ends in. Don't worry about that one in the middle because, and it's going to be hidden anyway. There is a score line there because we need it, but it's going to be on the inside. Let's flip it over to the side of the designer series paper that we actually want to show. Now, this side is really pretty too, but it was a lot of white. This was just too beautiful for words. So here's what we're going to do. Let me get these we want them to be nice and flexible. So we're going to grab these 2 points. Okay, can you see? Just grabbing those and then bring those in. Okay, I hope everyone can see. Here's the nice thing. If you've got all kinds of opportunities to get it right, it's not, if you're going, wait a minute, not figuring it out, don't worry, but you're just going to grab these 2 ends here, bring those in, and fold that down. Okay, that's it. That's the explosion. Okay, I'll tell you what, we are going to do some stamping next. I just wanted to go ahead and show you how to do the fold. But now let's come in. We're going to do some stamping. Grab myself some grid paper here. So I am going to give my gatefold card base a score. And you could do this in any color you want. I'm going to do a little Mango Melody stamping on this. I'm going to use the Happiness Abounds stamp set. And let's see, it looks like I'm using this flower right here. You can use whichever one you want. But what I want to do here, you notice that my card is closed. I just want to give a little texture and some stamping here to my background, just so it's not just a solid color. So I will keep stamping. Oh, Judy says, you're making it look so easy. You know what? This card it really is that easy. So it truly is. Let's see. Oh, Sharon's here. Hi, Sharon. So glad you're joining me today. All right. Our stamping on that one is done. I'm going to set that off to the side. And now I'm going to work with these 2 pieces of basic white. Now, on my original card, I made a congratulations card, which is great. But you know what? I needed a birthday card. So I'm going to change this up and create a birthday card. This stamp set has a lot of really great sentiments. So I had a happy birthday, best wishes, friend, congratulations. So let's bring in our black ink pad. And I've got my happy birthday. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I am going to do a quick punch. You know what? I like to punch before I stamp. I've got my Banners Pick-a-Punch, and you notice that 1/2-inch piece of cardstock just fits perfect inside there. I'm also a fan of turning it upside down to make sure everything is good and straight. But you notice on this punch, it's got little grooves to make sure I'm in there straight. But I just like to go ahead and double check myself. All right, so we've got that done. And yeah, that's why I do like to go ahead and do that punching first. Because I want to make sure my happy birthday is going to be perfectly centered. So we will stamp that right there. All right. Okay, we have that done. Now to stamp on this 2.5 by 2.5. This is so important. It needs to be at a triangle. We're not doing a square, we're doing a triangle. So make sure you think about that before you start stamping, okay? I'm going to take the same sentiment. By the way, I love this. This sentiment is perfect for birthday or congratulations. Wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. And remember, stamping in a triangle. So I'll stamp that there. And then I've got this little stamp also from the Happiness Abounds. And it's just going to give me a real pretty little floral right there. Okay. And my friends, yeah, that's all our stamping. How about that? But we're going to give this a little color. It's a little drab. So let's bring in some Stampin' Blends. I've got Granny Apple Green and Melon Mambo. Granny Apple Green, that's all we're going to do. You can use the light or dark, either one. And so here's what I'm going to do to my flower. I'm going to start with my Melon Mambo Dark. And, you know, we all have different ways we love to use Stampin' Blends. I really like to trace. I just trace, and you don't even have to be clean about it. That's what's so great about Stampin' Blends, because they're going to do what? Blend, of course. So we can just, I'm just tracing inside my black lines. And like I said, you really don't have to be clean about it. And hey, if you like to go outside the lines, you do you. I'm a fan of going outside the lines. Kind of looks a little more like watercolor. Okay, I'll go ahead and get that right there. Now, that was the dark. Now I'm going to come in with the light, and I'm going to use the thick tip now because it's faster. And you notice when you touch that line of the dark, see how it just blends? Just kind of keep blending. Look at that. So pretty. So yeah, we can just blend, blend, blend. I'm telling you, I've told you guys before, I hated coloring. It was just hard, and I just never really got the look I wanted until Stampin' Up! Came out with Stampin' Blends, and I've become one happy camper. I mean, look at that. And if you ever get a line, you're like, ooh, that's just too harsh, just let that alcohol from the marker just come in and blend it all together. And can you see the dark? It's just popping out of that. So pretty. All right. I cannot believe this, but guys, it's time to put the card together. I mean, that's where we are. Goodness gracious, it's a fast one. All right, so we're going to take that piece of basic white. This is going to just kind of be a base on the inside. I just think it looks nice. So get my adhesive here. And Georgia says, looks like once you make one, you'll make a ton of them. I said this before, I'll say it again. They're addicting. They are truly addicting. Okay, now we're going to take this stamped piece. We'll adhere it onto our Melon Mambo. You guys do see that the Stampin' Blends bleed through, so you're going to want to make sure you have some grid paper or scratch paper underneath you. We'll add that here. Now I'm going to bring in that funky little fold that we did. I'm going to make sure it's right side up. And we will add some more adhesive. Oh, Joanna says the majority of the cards I make are from Connie. How sweet. I appreciate that so much. You guys are awesome. And I love that you tune into the live so we can stamp together and have some fun. All right, so I want you to notice this square that we did, it fits perfect inside there. And you do want to go ahead and add that now. Trust me, it's a lot easier. But I'm going to go ahead and give that a press so it's in there, because once we put this inside the card, that can be a little tricky. Now, this is going to go inside my card. You don't have a ton of room to write a message, but just sign your name. But that doesn't mean you couldn't put another piece of white cardstock here in the back and write your message on the back too. Either way, it's going to work for you. Okay, here we go. So before I adhere anything down, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So I want the point of my designer series paper to hit the point of that basic white. And I want this, do you see that it's kind of coming off the edge? We want to make sure that our designer series paper is hitting that perfectly and this one perfectly. So we really want that to hit right in the middle. I'm going to hold this one down. Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to hold that there. I need to adhere this down to my white. So, and stubborn adhesive, probably because it's very humid today. All right. I am gently going to tap that. Okay, there we go. See that? I just want to make sure everything is good and set. I realize a little bit's peeking out there. Sometimes it's just how it goes. But we want to make sure that this is going to adhere so we can pop. I'm good with that. So I'm going to give it a press. Now we can open this up. Yeah, I almost forgot to adhere it down to the inside of the card first. I'm going to lay this right on top. So there's one. Now let's do it to this side. That's why we kind of want to adhere it to the inside of the card first so that we make sure it's all going to open and do its poppable magic. Isn't that awesome? Okay, now all we have to do is make it look pretty on the front. So we're going to take that piece of designer series paper. I love letting designer series paper be the star because you can see how fast this card is to go together. Now I'm going to adhere that to the front of my card, but I don't want to adhere it down or else my card can't open, right? So we only want to adhere it to one side. One of my favorite tricks is to flip it over, center it up so that I can see that gatefold seam. And because I can see that, I know right where to put my adhesive. Now watch this. Ooh, I got it on the card. Don't do that. Don't do what Connie does. All right. We can flip it over. We can center it up. And just like you've heard me say, don't press anything down too hard just yet. I just want to make sure there's no adhesive peeking through, and there's not. Make sure it's straight. And we're going to give that a press. Ta-da! Now, for our sentiment, there's my little happy birthday, and it's going to go right across here. You can put it wherever you want, up at the top, bottom, sideways, whatever makes you happy. But remember, it's going to be hanging off. So we really just want adhesive just right here in the center of this. I'm not going to recommend Stampin' Dimensionals on this card because it's got a lot of thickness to it with all that paper inside there. So I am going to leave that just like that. Isn't that a fun card? So there's my congratulations. And you see, I put it right there in the middle. But yeah, really fun card. Remember, I have room here to at least sign my name. I like cards where I don't have to write stuff because I never know what to say.
We were just talking about that.
Oh, really? You guys were chatting about that?
Prefer long messages or love yas and signatures?
And I am a love ya and signature girl.
We have a lot of love yas.
I love that. You guys are so like me. Like I said, you could always put or just write your message on the back. This color is light enough, but I like a little layer here and there. So let me show you my other card because I got some more tricks for you. This one, I got to tell you, this one is kind of a favorite. I love this color. This is the brand new Parakeet Party. And you notice what's different about this one. I used cardstock and then just little bits of designer series paper. So if you've got scraps of designer series paper, I have you covered. So this card I did with the Simply Fabulous. Got to tell you, I think this is my new favorite stamp set. The font is very much me. The flowers are very much me. And what I did, you can see, I just stamped the flowers in the Parakeet Party all over. You saw me do that earlier. Now what I want to show you is how I did the stuff here on the inside. Well, and I want to show you real quick on the basic white. So you saw me do all this, but I wanted you to see you can do it with cardstock as well. So remember, we're going to grab these 2 points and we're going to fold them in to make sure all that is set right. Perfect. Okay, when that is ready to go, now we're going to talk about the pieces to go on the inside. And this is where I said it's great for scraps because this is all I need and a piece of Calypso Coral. This is all I need for the inside now. So not nearly as much designer series paper. I got 2 pieces of designer series paper. This is from Butterfly Kisses, another favorite of mine, I must say. And let's see, these pieces, oh, Jenny, did I not put down the size? I don't think I did. But they are 2.5 by 2.5. Sorry about that, my friends. I did miss putting that on there. I think I may have just missed putting it on Jenny's. Sorry, Jenny. Anyway, I have 2 pieces of designer series paper, 2.5 by 2.5, and a piece of fresh freesia that's 2.5 by 2.5. My Calypso coral. Oh, and I should tell you, there's also, because it's already on here, there's also a 2.5 by 2.5 of basic white. So how's that? 4 pieces, 2.5 by 2.5. My Calypso coral. Remember, this piece was a little bit bigger, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And that one is going to go right here. Let me go ahead and just do that for you real quick. And then I'll show you how we're going to work with these other pieces. Because I think this is a really fun one if you've just got some scraps of designer series paper. Sweet Sarah says scraps or use my paper share from 6 by 6 papers. Absolutely, right? Because those are 2.5 by 2.5. That's an easy cut. Very easy. All right, so I'm going to bring my paper trimmer back in, because what we're going to do with these 3 pieces of designer series paper and that cardstock is we are simply going to cut them in half, point to point. So we're going to make that triangle. So when I say in half, I want to be very clear. We're going to cut triangle to triangle. Let's do that with the other one. This is so easy to do. You're just going to love this one. Okay, lining it up. All right, there's that one. Now we're also going to do that with the fresh freesia, and I've got a little embossing we're going to do on this one. So we will give those a quick slice. And I've got an embossing folder here. This one is called Elegant Eucalyptus. I hope you can see. Can you see that there? Oh, got to get my lights out of it. But I wanted to focus on this flower that's right here in the middle. So I'm going to take my fresh freesia, and when I put it in there, you can see, I can see right where that flower is to make sure it's in the center. And I can run that through my embossing folder, and we're going to get this. You're going to repeat that with this other one. Again, line it all up, center it up, and we're going to get those 2 pieces of embossed cardstock. I think that looks so pretty. And now we are going to add these. These are going to go here on the outside edge. And you'll see they just nest in there. Okay, just like so. Remember on the first card, we didn't have anything that was really nesting in here. So this is kind of a brand new concept here as far as the gatefold explosion card. So we want to make sure we get those centered in there. And I think you know what we're going to do now. We're going to take the butterfly kisses. And guess what I did not do? I just, oh, Connie. Guys, I got to tell you, I made this card quite a while ago, and I just forgot it needs another cut. Let's do one more cut because Connie wasn't paying attention. Who is surprised? I know you guys are laughing at me right now. Oh, let's see. Casey is saying no sound. Huh. Jenny, are we working? You know, I've had, oh, you know what? I am hearing an echo, so maybe we don't have sound. How are we doing, guys? Just make sure. I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep cutting. Jenny, will you just turn up? They can. Okay. Oh, technology drives me crazy. Okay, you're going to cut all of those. And we will add these here on each of these triangles. And it's just too darn easy to do that. And this. Oh, it sticks to me. I'm telling you, do you guys love that stamp and seal? It might be a little bit futzy sometimes because, you know, it doesn't, I have to roll it, but I'll tell you what, it's so good and strong that I don't care. All right. Yes, the measurements are on the download. Good question, guys. All the measurements are going to be right there on your download. There is not a written tutorial because this video is your tutorial, but all your measurements, pictures, that diagram, that is all going to be there on on that download. So that's what it's starting to look like, and that's what it looks like when it's done. Isn't that so pretty? And it's just a great way to really expand your designer series paper. Super fun. This one I decided to do a piece of Night of Navy in the background there to kind of pull out the navy in that cardstock or in the designer paper. But here's the thing, it's also a little bit smaller. Why? Because it was a scrap. So get creative. You do not have to stick with the sizes that I use. The only sizes you have to do correctly are the card base and the actual explosion part. You notice on this one, I left myself room to write my message. Can I give you another tip? Write your message before you adhere it down, because with all these little, well, I guess you can do that. I can kind of pop them down. So I could write my message and then just give them another quick pop. But yeah, just sometimes it can be a little bit easier to write your message before you adhere it down. Now on the front, I just added a little white glitter organdy bow. Isn't it so pretty? And used some Calypso coral and some crushed curry on my flowers and my sentiment there in Night of Navy. Love, 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 love. I hope you guys do too. So Marianne said, did you emboss the cardstock? Yes, this one I didn't hear, although you bring up a very good point, Marianne. Yes, I could have embossed that Night of Navy. That would have been really pretty. You guys, see, you're going to give me ideas now. So awesome. Deborah, so cute. Love it. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate you coming and letting me share with you. Speaking of sharing, I love to do a little show and tell here on the end of my YouTubes. So this card I just got yesterday from Sandra in Texas. And I got to tell you, this card is gorgeous. And she is a brand new stamper. And she's using that brand new Tahitian Tide. And I hope you can see it. Do you guys know my packing tape technique to make things shiny? She did that and die cut that image. But look, it's got shine. I'm so proud of her. So she sent me a really great card. She did some embossing in there. Very fabulous card. Great layout too. Love that one. Here's another one I got from Jane in Maryland. And this is using the Eden's Garden. And check this out. It is an easel fold. Whoops. So yeah, that can, and it says, let's celebrate everything. So that will just stand a great way to display a card. Thank you, Jane, for that. I love it. I've got another one here from Tracy. Look at all this gorgeous embossing on vellum that she did. Oh, look at the stamps that she used. Yep, she used Happiness Abounds. We recognize that one, don't we? But she did gold embossing on this one, and I thought it just turned out beautiful. Love that. She's got the most gorgeous handwriting, too. I'm so jealous. I have one more card from Laura from Wisconsin. And this one I thought was just so sweet. Just a card to say hello. Again, can we talk about the gorgeous handwriting? Wowza, you guys are amazing. So a fabulous layout. And this is another really great card for using up some of those leftover scraps that you have. Okay, thank you guys so much for sending me your cards. I want to share with you what we're creating next week, if I can find it. It has disappeared. There they are. There they are. Okay. I am super excited about these cards. This one is kind of called a double gate triangle card. And you notice we got a little great belly band here. We've got triangle double gate there. Did some stamping and used some more of that designer series paper here. So this is a great one for using I believe they are like 4x4 pieces. And so that's really great. And then we can put our little belly band on it. Isn't it gorgeous? Love that. I've got another one. And this one I had some fun with. Big hugs and good vibes. But this one I had going the other direction. So yeah, the designer series paper, definitely the star of these cards. And yeah, just another fabulous way to create a very unique card to send to your friends. Okay. Thank you guys for sticking with me as, you know, we shared a little bit about Jenny and Tugger and dealt with a few tech issues. Welcome to my life. Technology's fun. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys will join me next week. So that'll be June 9th. Yeah, join me on June 9th for those really fun cards. I have got a trick. If you've ever made this card before, you're going to want to tune in because I have a trick that is going to make it so easy. I was kind of having a hard time with it, and all of a sudden the light bulb went off, and I went, well, I know how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to share that trick with you next week. All right, my friends, happy Thursday. Have a great rest of your week and a fabulous weekend. Love you guys so much. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.